Dakota Ditcheva just dropped the truth bomb nobody saw coming, crying in the cage after another dominant win. And no, it wasn't joy, it was frustration, it was pain, and it was a warning to the UFC. I'm stuck.
Even though I look up to her a lot, I still want to be in her position and be able to beat someone like her. So.
You could fight any female right now. Who would you want to go with?
Valentina Shevchenko right now. I want to be at the top.
This is legacy versus legacy to be. Valentina is one of the most well-rounded fighters in MMA history. She reads opponents like code, downloads your game in real time, and exploits the first bug she finds. Dakota, she's got that unorthodox rhythmic striking that could actually throw Valentina off early. Long knees, feints, switch kicks from odd angles. But here's where Reggie gets real. Dakota still needs more 5-round reps. Her pace can dip late, and Valentina is the queen of championship round adjustments. Still, imagine a fully dialed-in Dakota with sharpened counter wrestling and championship caliber cardio on point. If she dethrones Shevchenko, especially by spectacular knockout, it wouldn't just be an upset. It would catapult Dakota into instant superstardom and turn her into a household name overnight. We're talking late show appearances, global endorsements, the works. That's the rocket ship moment everyone's waiting on, and it would stamp her GOAT application in permanent ink.
Dakota Ditcheva, 15 wins, 0 losses, one of the most exciting undefeated killers in MMA. She just beat Sumiko Inaba at PFL Africa with style, power, and absolute control. But instead of celebrating, Dakota was in tears. I think I've injured my left hand. I'm more gutted because I've been out for so long and I'm injured again. You could see it in her eyes. Dakota didn't just break her hand, she broke inside. This was supposed to be her return, her moment. Instead, she's left with pain, a damaged hand, and more time on the shelf. And let's talk facts. Fans have been begging for Dakota in the UFC. Laura Sanko called her the Violent Cinderella, who could rescue the entire women's division. But now, it looks like the UFC just got ghosted.
When you come back, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, I have just re-signed with PFL. We've come to a great...
That's right. She didn't jump ship. She doubled down. Dakota just re-signed with the PFL in what she calls a great agreement. But what some fans are calling a shackle 15-0. Global fan base highlight reel knockouts and still no octagon debut. Is this about loyalty or money? Is the UFC ignoring her? Or did PFL back up the BRINKS truck?
She's never won a belt, as she said. Like, she's not a complete fighter, is she? I'm not a complete fighter. She definitely isn't either, so... But whatever.
Let's not forget, Dakota destroyed Taila Santos in November 2024, a UFC vet, KO'd like she didn't belong. And then she disappeared, out for months with injuries. Just as the hype was peaking, now, back again, same story. Another injury, another delay. And fans are starting to wonder, is dangerous Dakota cursed? But maybe this is all part of the play. PFL has the dollars. Dakota has the look, the record, the killer instinct. Could she become the face of PFL? Could she bring more heat than Harrison, more damage than Cyborg? She wants to build her kingdom her way. But make no mistake, if Dakota keeps getting hurt, and if the UFC door stays shut, this might go down as the biggest what-if in women's MMA. Dakota Ditcheva just cried in victory. She just re-signed with the company that isn't giving her the UFC stage. And she just warned the world this injury might keep her out again. But when she's back, she's not coming to compete. She's coming to kill, and Dana White better be ready, because the Violent Cinderella doesn't want a glass slipper. She wants blood.
Because there's one name that I am dying to see in the UFC, and that's Dakota Ditcheva.
What a fighter.
Yeah.
What a fighter.
Talk about the women's
Can you imagine her
division needing a superstar, and talk about a perfectly packaged, talented, gorgeous, Eloquent, respectful, good, like literally checks every single box, and she's right there. And she
I'm here with a dangerous Dakota Ditcheva. First question I have to ask, how's the left hand? We saw you shaking it out in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, I think I've injured my left arm, but I think I'm just more gutted because I've been out for so long and then I've come back and I'm injured again. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. Thank you so much.
This crowd behind you from start to finish, how did that feel, especially in that third round when you were hurting?
Guys, I just want to say that was the best walkout I've ever had, so thank you so much.
Before we get you in the back, I have to know, what does the future hold for you? I know you have to heal up, but when you come back, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, I have just re-signed with PFL. We've come to a great agreement, and I'm going to look forward to the next few years together, so hopefully we can carry on bringing crowds like this, because you guys really set a standard, so congratulations, guys.
Dangerous Dakota Ditcheva fans, let her know how you feel.
There's a monster brewing outside the UFC, and her name is Dakota Ditcheva, the Violent Cinderella, that Laura Sanko just begged Dana White to sign. Laura Sanko said, "She is a violent Cinderella. Bring her to the UFC as soon as you possibly can. This isn't hype. This is a full-blown warning shot to every woman on the UFC roster. Dakota Ditcheva isn't just undefeated. She's untouched, 10-0 finishing opponents like it's personal, and she's not even in the UFC yet. While UFC fans beg for a breakout female star, Dakota's quietly building an empire in the PFL and destroying everything in her way." Laura Sanko, one of the most respected voices in MMA, just lit the fire on camera. No filter. And she didn't name a UFC star. She picked Dakota Ditcheva. That's huge. Laura Sanko. For me, it's Dakota Ditcheva. She is a violent Cinderella. That quote alone is a massive L for the UFC's women's roster. Because when your own team says your biggest star isn't even signed, you've got problems. So why hasn't Dakota signed the contract? Easy. She's too smart. She knows her value, and she's not walking into a bad UFC deal just for the spotlight.
Is there an opportunity for you to cross-promote with the PFL for, say, a Joan Ganu fight, and is there anything specifically stopping that from happening?
Is there any way to stop it from happening?
Is there anything that's stopping that specific fight or a specific cross-promotion with the PFL from happening?
No, I'm not interested in that. We tried to make that fight. They didn't want to do it, and it's done. He doesn't fight here anymore. I'm not interested.
So no fights with the PFL just in general?
Should I?
Possibilities.
We got 1, 2, and 3. They can't sell a fucking gate. Oh, talk to me.
Dana,
It's a stupid question, but go ahead. Talk to me. Why would I do that? I tried to make the fight here. They didn't want to do it, but I should co-promote with like a Bellator or a PFL. Why should I do that? Talk to me.
I guess it's just, a partnership with ESPN or anything like that, just in general, with just co-promoting an MMA to make, MMA fans happy, just for everyone to be involved with each other.
What? Because of ESPN?
As a partnership.
You win the dumb question of the night. Congratulations.
She's making her money, building hype, stacking highlights. The UFC is going to have to pay up, and they know it.
Something to Dana White right after the fight. You want to share with the rest of the crowd?
Hey guys, wait, don't leave it right now. Hold on. Double jumping forever, baby. Forever. Today, if you guys look around, I just tied with Anderson Silva in defend the belt. So tonight is a perfect night to retire and then live happy forever.
Since Amanda Nunes walked away, let's be real, the division has been bleeding.
Who devised the strategy of fighting southpaw?
Look, the best thing what I did was make my gym happen. Because in my gym, I feel like it's safe, you know?
Peña's beefing with Kayla, Valentina's out. Harrison's a freak, but part-time. And the UFC? They've got no breakout female striker, none except Dakota. Ditcheva is right there. and she's smoking names in the PFL like it's target practice. Let's play matchmaker. Dakota versus Juliana Pena? That's a murder charge. Dakota versus Valentina? Striking clinic Dakota versus Kayla Harrison? The super fight we actually need. Give her anyone. Give her everyone. Dakota is the fresh blood women's MMA desperately needs. She's 27 prime years, star power, British swagger, and a fucking killer instinct. Laura Sanko. She is a violent Cinderella. Bring her to the UFC as soon as you possibly can, Dana. It's time to cash out, or get passed by. Because Cinderella's glass slipper, it's covered in blood.
Yeah, I think.
And then who wins? Dakota versus Valentina.
You really make me say that. She's my favorite fighter, but come on.
Favorite fighter, number one.
Yeah, she is. She's always been my favorite fighter, Valentina. Wow. Yeah.
All time.
Yeah, all time.
Have you ever told her this?
I just think like she's just like an MMA athlete. Like,
yeah.
What can she not do? Like, she can grapple. If she needs to win by grappling, she can do it. If she needs to strike, she can do it. Like, I mean, so many people thought she was going to get a belt taken off her by the French girl, Manon
Fiorot.
Oh, you said it quite well. Yeah, people wrote her off with that, and look what she did. She always finds a way to win. I think she's very, very clever.
Dakota F-King Ditcheva, and she just called out the queen of violence herself, Valentina Shevchenko. Let's be real. Everyone thought Dakota Ditcheva would jump ship to the UFC undefeated, violent, marketable British, a perfect Dana White signing. But what did she do instead? She re-signed with the PFL while throwing shade at the UFC by keeping her options wide open.
In the post-fight interview, you announced that you had re-signed with the PFL. Congratulations. Are you happy with how everything turned out?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I am happy now in the end. It took a while. I mean, I fought last November, so it took a while for us to come to, you know, something that was right for the both of us. But I'm happy now, you know, I just secured my future for me and my family.
And now she's gunning for the fight most UFC women won't even whisper about, Valentina Shevchenko, one of the most feared women in MMA history. This isn't just a crossover fight. This would be the first real PFL versus UFC women's super fight. But here's the truth. The UFC won't say out loud, Dakota is a threat, and not just to Valentina, to their entire flyweight division. Think about it, a young, undefeated blonde striker with serious KO power, and she's not under UFC control.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say Bellator has had Hawaii events.
Bellator could put on a fucking fight in the parking lot. Dude, I can't even believe you just said that. PFL could... You know PFL was here on Friday. Did anybody know that? You're the media guys. I didn't know till fucking Friday. They were selling tickets, buy two, get two free. I'm not busting on them. That's a fucking fact. They put out a memo, buy two, get two free. You're having a bad fucking week if those are the memos you're putting out.
Hey, Dana.
There were more people in my fucking green room tonight than there were at the fight.
Finally,
wouldn't just be about belts, it would be about promotional pride. And that's why the UFC is staying silent. Let's talk about Valentina. She's a legend. No debate, but she's not untouchable anymore. Alexa Grasso exposed cracks. And Dakota? She's younger, hungrier, and she's not afraid to talk about it. Dakota's message is loud and clear. If Valentina's still on top when it happens, I'm in. That's a challenge, a warning, a threat, and maybe even a prophecy. Let's be honest, the UFC didn't want to lose Kayla Harrison. Now they're watching Dakota become the next breakout star, and she's doing it without them. If Dakota versus Valentina actually happens and the UFC loses on their own turf, it's game over for the narrative that UFC is the only elite league, and deep down, Dana knows it. Social media's been on fire since Dakota said the words UFC champ versus PFL champ. Some fans say she hasn't earned it. Others say Valentina would destroy her. But the real ones, they know this is exactly the kind of fight women's MMA needs. Dakota ain't ready. Valentina ends her in 2 rounds. This girl might be the future. Dana missed out big UFC, ducked another star. And with Dakota turning 27 today, she's entering her prime. The UFC can't ignore her much longer. Dakota Ditcheva is ready. Valentina Shevchenko is legendary. And the fans? They want this super fight bad.